Welcome to Pucked Up Hockey Moms, the landing space for moms of all ages, shapes, and sizes. And we won't hate it if the non-mom joins either. We just hope your ears are as unfiltered as our mouths, and you're as passionate about hockey as we are. It's time to get offside, ladies, and no whistles are being blown here. I'm your host, Amanda, and today's episode is a love letter. No, wait, maybe a survival guide. It's one of the most unhinged experiences in hockey mom life. This is one for the real MVPs of the hockey world, the tournament moms. That's right, weekends filled with hotel hallways, whistleblowing, wine drinking, and desperately searching for a stable Wi Fi signal to stream the game you're already at for those that are left behind, or to make you capture every heart stopping moment for your future self. Let's talk about it, shall we? Whether you're the spreadsheet queen, the snack bag goddess, or the I just showed up with a phone charger and vibes type, this episode is your warm hug of validation. Because let's be honest, no one truly understands the kind of psychological warfare that is a tournament weekend. We're talking hallway knee hockey at midnight, aka mini sticks, lost gear, broken coffee machines, rink-side rage. Oh, yeah, that's a big one. And that one dad who thinks he's an NHL scout or pretending to be one just for TikTok. I've seen that one before and I think it's hilarious. So pour yourself something strong, even if it's 9 a.m., and let's get into it. You think you're packing light. We call this the packing delusion. You're not. You're packing for a full-blown expedition. I always start by emptying my massive people gear mover, aka my vehicle, of all said junk that's accumulated from like really a week of said mini terrorists, only to have it look, when finished, damn near close to when I started, just fuller. Let's talk this through, shall we? Our packing mindset versus reality is just a quick weekend turns into four duffel bags, a couple snack bins, water bottles, a camping chair, a curling flat iron you won't use, maybe a decent outfit because you're hopeful you might get to go out with some of the moms. You won't. Your kids pack two hoodies, one sock, and a console. Who knows where that other sock is? Like, really? Why they can't pack a second sock is beyond me, which you may or may not remove the console depending on your mood. I don't know. Depends on you, depends on me. It could be anything that makes you take that game console away or use it as a bargaining chip. Up to you. You will do what you always do, pack everything else that is actually needed: the snacks, the medical supplies, chargers, hand warmers, swimsuits, extra clothes for an actual outfit, and underwear. Oh, and an emotional support beverage, or 12. No judgment. There's always someone on the team who forgets something, and another mom to the rescue with an extra of something to share. Or a mom dad MacGyver situation that sorts that shit out to make something work. Allow me to go off on a mini rant for a moment. I mean, you don't really have a choice other than skipping ahead. Please don't skip ahead. I would love for you to listen to my ranting, but if you must, I really have no idea how long it's going to last, so take it as you will. I remember one time we realized the rivets in one of my kids' skates had rusted out, and that's why they looked like they were skating in mud during the first game. Like, literally looked like she was dragging her skates across the ice. And so we made it out to Canadian Tire between games, got some weird ass tool. I have no idea what it is. So the husband, Coach Phil, had to grab it and all the other things. So ching, 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 there goes our tournament fees. So he could re-rivet the whole damn things, since literally the skates are awesome and can be remolded and used again. It's just those damn rivets rust out every now and then. So next game, she's skating faster than she was before, and it does not look like she's running in water. So that was a win. We both looked at each other though, and we're like, damn, that was on us for not checking the skates and realizing they needed repair, because most of the time we just make sure all the stuff is in there, not necessarily checking over the quality. But yeah, we've learned that our kids aren't going to complain about their skates being too small because they actually feel bad when we spend money. Go figure. I know a lot of kids are just like wanting to spend the money, but these ones feel bad. Now, explain to me why mini hotel fridges are the sizes of cereal boxes. Like, legit, we know there's supposed to be a mini fridge, but that's like the two Coke can size of mini fridge you give to a toddler to plug into a little dollhouse, you know? We've got yogurt, juice boxes, hummus, and wine to chill here, Karen. Let's get an actual size mini fridge so we can handle our business. Side note, travel tip, if you can ask at booking for a microwave, if it's not included, I highly recommend it. We've been charged like $50 for our stay to have a microwave, and we've used it for late night snacks when we don't want to get in trouble for breaking curfew or there's nothing open. And for a 4 a.m. wake up call when the kids want oatmeal and nothing else can be good enough for their pregame, yeah, the microwave's a win. Or also when like the coffee that's complimentary is lukewarm and you just need it to be a little bit hotter and you know you're not getting any better coffee anytime soon. The carpool conundrum. To carpool or not to carpool? That is a question. But for real, do you carpool? Do you not carpool? Really, it's up to you. It's up to your like family's needs. If there's the option to carpool, we always do if we can, if it's feasible, if we're not all going, if there's room. And if it works out, it works out. On a side note, y'all know my son plays out of the US, but in the CSSHL, or maybe you don't, but that's the Canadian Sports School Hockey League up in Canada. There's three teams so far in the US that are part of it. But anyway, one time my daughter had a tournament or interlock female game, I can't remember. I was carpooling with another mom, so no car for me, and my son was playing on the other side of town in Vancouver. So I legit took an Uber from Richmond from our hotel, watched his game, busted out of there, got another Uber across town, way away from our hotel. Like, so I'm making this giant triangle all over the mainland to get to her game to catch the last period, hook up with my ride, then on to the next game at another rink just to hustle through the rest of the tournament. Fortunately, we even stayed at the same hotel, so I got to wave at him in passing because I am not cool enough to just say hi to all the time in front of his team, but that was a couple years ago. He is much better now. If it weren't for Uber, I 100% would not have made it to all of those games. So thank you. Thank you, Uber. But carpooling is a saving grace for a lot of us just because there are so many different costs along the way. So make sure you pick the right person to carpool with, one that is going to help navigate, not be a hindrance, one that's not super annoying. Um, we can't always have what we want, but one that will at least pay for gas because nothing bothers me more than being with someone that is like, oh, I'll just scratch a ride with you, and they won't contribute to gas or to ferries if you live on an island like us. Because for me, I was always raised that if you're going to carpool, then you better share half of the way, like half of the hotel, half of the gas, half of the ferry. Not everyone does that. I've been fortunate that everyone I've carpooled with has done this. And I always offer to when I'm carpooling you end up working out other ways where you're buying them lunches or something if they don't take your money, because some people are like that also. But be a responsible carpool person if you are sharing and just be, you know, conscientious of these things. Talk about it ahead of time or learn your lesson and end up spending more by trying to carpool than you thought you were. It happens. Life lessons. Okay, we're going to move on to hotel life. It is chaos in the corridors. Let's talk about the hotels, shall we? We've all been on both sides. There's the guests who hate being there when a team is around because they're loud and annoying all before we had kids, of course. Or maybe, when we just had a meeting and we're super tired and we're stuck at a hotel for work and we just wish everyone would shut the hell up. And then we remind ourselves, right, we have kids, they have fun doing this, but for the love of God, somebody please get me earplugs because I have to be up so early for a flight. Yes, I digress. And then we have the little shits and do all the things for them because we apparently love them and are now spending every minute of our downtime doing the things, traveling with smelly gear, miles from the comfort of our couch and beds and alcohol or non-alcohol, no judgment, and beds to listen to screams of joy playing mini sticks in hallways. Work with me here while I set this scene. You have been driving for hours in a car, a bus, or a plane, then pull up to your final fantasy destination. Those my H will totally understand what I'm saying here. In the player's eyes, it's their final fantasy destination, the hotel. The kids bolt from the car, acting like wild animals, making weird, embarrassing sounds you didn't even know they could make, touching everything, while you assure the clerk that your kid is never like this. You swear. Okay, maybe they are like this, but you try and pretend that they aren't anyway because you're civilized and you're trying to be in public right now. You're still checking in. They are supposed to be watching your stuff because your mom juice is in there and it's valuable. And if anyone takes that, shit's going down, people. And already, one of them is barefoot in the hallway, and your possessions are left alone, spread out across the entryway like an obstacle course in the middle of the doorway, and everyone is looking at you with those judgy eyes. Yup. Welcome to day one, people. Where's the bar? Okay, now you are in your own room with your kid. Did the whole family come, or are you rooming with another mom? For wallet's sake, we generally try to ride and room share or just ride share. Let's face it, it's a perfect way to bond or ruin a friendship. Sharing a ride cuts down on a major part of costs, sharing a room even more. But depending on the gender, dynamics, the children, the overall habits, you might want to factor in these before going sharesies on the room part. Who shares the bed with who? Do you snore? Do they? Are you good with sharing all your booze and snacks? And will they do the same? Or do you end up fitting the bill and spending more money? I've literally had it go both ways. So it's just up to you. How long do they take in the washroom? Can you even go number two when there's people around? Because I might have some children that can't. I might not be able to go when other people are around. These are like home bowl advantage issues. And if there's other people around, you can't go. That's just legit. I'm not going to lie. These are things that happen to people. And, you know, it is what it is. Everybody has to go, guys. I could go on, but we will stop there because I think you get the picture. I hope, because I don't want to go on any more about it. To swim or not to swim? Honestly, moms, take it from my experience. Pack the suit, but talk to the coach. Every coach has different vibes. You do not want to be the instigator going against the coach who is telling the team that they are going to burn all their energy. Some coaches are very against the pool. Others are fine in certain instances, but only after the two games are played that day and they don't play again until the afternoon. But again, I check with the coaches because I'm not about to be the one that's scolded and judged and all that other stuff for the whole tournament because it just puts a damper on the parade. The great hallway hockey debate. We don't allow it versus just let them burn off energy. I mean, it's similar to swimming, but not. You know, all the kids are going to do it. They're all going to want to play the knee hockey, the mini sticks. You just can't avoid it. So you either tell them not to pack it, and then all the other kids are packing it, but at least there's going to be one or two kids packing it. Then they're all fighting over it. And you can't control them. They're wild animals, even at 17. So they're all doing something, whether they're mini sticks, but they're running around the halls like little jackals. It's crazy. I suggest a parent survival kit. Earplugs, maybe some caffeine patches, a hip flask. That's up to you, but a Yeti to hide your mom juice, some Advil, some Tylenol, some gravel. Those are my go-tos to fight the mom hangover. Emergency duct tape for doors or for silence of your children. Um, don't worry, I don't actually silence my children with duct tape. I just think this is funny. But a personal bit here. Again, it's all personal to me. We had this one tournament where I managed to convince the hotel staff that if they just let us use their conference rooms for a contained mini stick game, I would chaperone and leave it the way we found it, and all their guests would be so much happier. And this is after like four teams were being insane. Needless to say, they agreed. I might have some hearing loss to go with that night, but ultimately it was so much fun for the kids. A few players from a rival team joined in and we divided them between both teams. We split them up into two teams, but rather than just having us against them, we really wanted them to mingle together. So it was a lot more fun and a lot less like the tournament we'd already been playing. And Guess what? Who knew? They had even more fun and made some friends. It just so happened to make a little bit less dirty of a game between those teams for the rest of the tournament because they got to know each other. They still played hard, don't get me wrong, but some of the dirty, cheap stuff that we'd seen earlier that we were a little cringy at was just gone. Some may say that's a win, some not. I will leave that up to you. I know that mutual respect was had, and we did leave the room in the same state we were given, and the hotel staff appreciated. There were no more hallway noises happen for the remainder of the weekend. Now, if only I could convince every other hotel I visited of the same thing. I mean, I can be persuasive, but that's a lot of work. And sometimes I don't have the energy to talk to every hotel, and I just want to go to my mom room and go to sleep early and let them run loose and rabid and not deal with it. Next, hotel curfews. There will always be a handful of kids that just don't listen to this. Does that have something to do with parents who said players not giving two Fs about the curfew? Maybe. Or maybe they didn't get the memo because the kids didn't tell them that there was a curfew. Or they just weren't listening to the group chat because a lot of people do miss a group chat. But generally, I haven't really seen players' performance change much from regular season play when they go to bed late at tournaments. But that's just me. I haven't really done a huge study on it, so take that with a grain of salt. On to the cool parent. Everyone loves versus the hall monitor who threatens to report noise violations. There are a set on every team. Which one are you? Can you guess which one I am? I won't ever be a hall monitor, but you better believe I will flip that frickin' switch in zero point zero 0.01 second if you get rude or disrespectful, or I see you bully another kid, or someone is about to get seriously hurt. My kids have seen it. Many kids have when we've had our barn parties. I will make you clean up a mess when you aren't my kid if you think it's funny to destroy property. But if everyone is just out there having fun, being harmless, maybe a little hyper and annoying, but generally having fun, then I am here for it. But if you're being a little shit and you know it, I'm not gonna just walk away. I will probably call you out, make you a little embarrassed, then go find your parents so they know you're being a little shit. Call that a hall monitor? Maybe. I just say what do I say it is? Like doing community service, you know? That's what I call it. And not in a Karen way, people. Rink side realness. The rink is just cold chaos. You show up early for warm-ups. Your kid forgot their helmet. You're now a Sherpa sprinting through the parking lot. You know which rinks have decent coffee, a functioning washroom, and the good snack bar. Listen, I know which rink has a good washroom about as much as I know where every Starbucks is because they have the cleanest bathrooms ever. So between rink bathrooms and Starbucks bathrooms, my bladder is covered. The coffee thing, I find most on the island don't have coffee whenever we have a practice. They're just closed. So you're SOL. Knowing where the Starbucks are is in direct relation to knowing where the rinks are or the McDonald's. Some people are all about their Tims, but we like our cafe much better. And yes, I am Canadian and I still love my McDonald's coffee. You have rink fashion, which can lead anywhere to just full on pajamas all the time to your massive puffy jackets. Um, what else? Lulu. There's so much Lulu, but it's those floor length jackets to go with it. You've got moms in full Canada Goose mode, moms wrapped in blankets like burritos, and then the mom pajama pants and rage, like the full on rage while they're doing this. And then you've got the stands drama where the parents are yelling at the ref, please take several seats. Sometimes I'm yelling at the ref, but only when kids are getting hurt and nobody is making a call that needs to happen to slow the pace of the game or just, make sure nobody's getting hurt. Make even calls. If it's really heavy-sided, like heavy-handed, and you're like, this is just kids playing refs, then yes, I get upset passionately and I try and contain myself or sit on my hands or put my coffee cup in my mouth so I can't keep getting myself in trouble. Another side rant. I love supporting my kid, but if I wanted to freeze in a metal bleacher at 7 a.m. while inhaling burnt hot chocolate fumes, oh, wait, no, that's exactly what I'm doing. So never mind. I don't know where I was going with that. That was legit 100% what I do for them all the time. Wi-Fi woes and your streaming struggles and snack madness. Now, for those that can't make it to the game, you might be in charge of trying to stream for them. Hopefully, you have someone on the team that's just streaming locally, and that's great, or streaming so they can put it on YouTube or Facebook or whatever platform you have. But if you're the one trying to do it on FaceTime or something, then you're struggling to find Wi-Fi somewhere and not use all your data. And the grind is real. It is no fun. Or you've got your mom or the grandmas trying to do it too for you because they're the heroes that are making it out for you when you're working. But damn, Wi-Fi struggle is real. So try and find a mom or a dad and get them to stream and rotate games, and then everyone can hop on because I tell you, it is a huge, huge time saver for everyone. Also, there's always someone standing in front of the camera or chewing directly into it. Tell these people to move, or just don't film with sound too. I know that does suck, but I'm a person that can't be filmed with sound for obvious reasons. Rink snack power rankings. I do love a rink that has some awesome snacks. Anywhere from their nachos, their hot dogs with that might be a little freezer burnt bun, and the questionable toppings to go with them. Somehow, I just want a hot dog anyway. I feel like I'm on Legally Blonde, and I always say that makes me want a hot dog real bad. I can't help it. Yes, most of you are too young to know what I'm saying. That's fine. The mystery slushie that all the kids have to have with the dollar candy bag that's now like $4 and there's like half the candy. Stale popcorn. We know our girl Tresha, that's been on the show a couple times, loves her popcorn. She is a popcorn connoisseur. And coffee that tastes like hockey tape. I do tend to go for a mocha because I feel like at least it adds a bit of sugar and milk to it and waters it down or dilutes the burntness. So those are what you can try and do with the rink snacks. But, packing your own is usually a good idea. Or door dashing something for all of you and splitting the tab, or Uber Eats, or whatever the meal plan you guys have to yourself. It's a good one. Okay, here we go. We have all the parent archetype. I'm probably saying it wrong. You can shoot me for it later, but not really shoot me, but like just on the ground make fun of me. I would love somebody to make fun of me. I feel like if someone's making fun of me, I'm doing something right. So feel free to make fun of me. So we have the drill sergeant dad, the chill wine mom, the overprepared binder queen, or goalie dad with his shot chart. No judgment, just a side note, but you'll see those dads where they're like plotting in front of like a full hockey rink, all the shots and where they've come from. I love it. I'm all for it. I think it's great. It's great data, guys. You're very dedicated. The gossip queen, the low key competitive, my kid should have scored 4 goals parent, the Instamum documenting every moment. I feel like I'm now that one because I'm using all the video for my Instagram. The parent who forgets what rink they're at. Always. Yep. Known a couple of these. Those kids are always late because their mom never knows what rink they're at. So let's wrap it up. We joke, we roast, we rant. Well, but you guys are doing it too. I know you are. But here's the truth. Tournament moms are the glue. We're the drivers, the snack bringers, the emotional support humans, the gear haulers, and the social coordinators. No one does it like us. So the next time you're freezing at the rink with a coffee in one hand, forgotten elbow pad in the other, just remember, you're doing great. You're part of a sisterhood built on frostbite and foam coolers. Love ya. Mean it. Catch you next week, Bad Mom Squad. Now go unpack the gear bag. Or don't. Who are we kidding? Thanks for tuning in today, and we appreciate you listening. Catch us next week for another mix of hockey tales, tricks, and/or tips.